Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dugout Mug Studios. This is the seventh inning stretch.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with you again on another week here, Thursday, baseball time. It is in the air officially. Spring training has started, or at least pitchers and catchers have reported at that point. Most players are starting to show up early. And we got my guy, Tyler McGurk from Fat Boy Fadeaway, distracting him this week because of the Niners' big loss. He wants to join the show. Appreciate him going on with it. Now he's officially a Niner. He's gone to the Warriors hat. We're going to get him to the Giants hat here tonight on the show. We'll talk a little Giants, a little NL West. We got a lot of big things. I want to get into MLB trivia. We'll try to see if Josh can get it right this week. Edwards tried to help you out this week, see if we can get that. A little MLB flashback. Logan Stone, if you're out there, how you doing? All our guys here at 7th Inning Stretch. Josh, I feel like it's been great. Been getting a lot of comments on the show. A lot of people commenting in even after the show. We really appreciate that. We put a lot of time into it and stuff like that throughout the week. We're busy, but we are still kind of focused on you guys and trying to bring you guys the best baseball content out there and different, hopefully, in some ways than you get somewhere else. Josh Edwards, how you doing tonight?
Dude, busy week, but very happy with the start of baseball and things are starting to go. We still got some big names hanging out there that we need to discuss. There's still a lot that could happen. So I got some questions about how you think the development of the San Francisco Giants, the offseason, what it's going to set them up for this season. I know that's one of your topics, but it's something I want to discuss. I still don't think it puts them over the D-backs, but I'm sure that's something we can go over later as well.
Well, as we kind of get into that, before I get to it, I just want to – can I just say a little breaking news? Can we celebrate here? Manfred, it's 5 years, though, from now. He's going to retire in 2029, he said. After his next one, I'm like, just enough to screw over Oakland, you son of it. So he's gonna go, he's gonna stay there. And I'm like, I just kind of joking Hall of Famer. You know me, I'm totally messing with that one at the end. But I feel like all these guys get in. I'm like, so I guess with Tyler, real quick, I don't want to spend a ton on him because I don't feel he deserves it. But what do you think his legacy will be as he kind of says 5 years from now? Sayonara.
Man, his legacy, I don't think he's gonna have much. Like, what happened since he's been gone? Maybe the international game with the World Baseball Classic. He kind of developed that into something being on the good side. And then I think Oakland probably on the negative side is where most of the attention will be spent, definitely in the Bay Area.
Back it up, Binge Podcast. Appreciate you tuning in here. Baseball, your Orioles. We got a little thing with Bradish. I'm going to talk about him in a little bit. AL East. Got some things with news and notes. Shout out Peter Gaiman's Diamond Notes. That coming a little bit later as well. We got Susie Bourbon and Baseball checking in them as well. Susie, hope you're doing well out there this evening.
Baseball, no, you need to answer that.
You're excited for it. Are the A's just tanky all the sloppy seconds? What's going on? I ain't got to be honest. I think the A's – Brandon Crawford is next. That's what I keep saying. Josh Lewis said keep that name out of his mouth. He said, you like
the baby giraffe is on his way.
Exactly. What's up, fellas? That's my sports. Like I said, it's baseball. Josh, you know this. Like you said it last week at the end of the last show. I'm like, yeah, I'm fired up for baseball, people. That's how I work. That's how Tyler knows that as well. As I listen to radio instead of actual watching it on TV. That's how sick I am with it. So we got baseball there.
You're different, man.
Josh, what did you think, real quick, before we go to the Giants of Manfred moving on? What do you think his legacy will be 5 years from now? Is it the rule changes? Is it COVID? Is it what? I don't even know what it is.
I mean, the guy's gone through quite a bit, and I'm not saying that to defend him. I think he's made pretty bad choices across the board. He's going to be known for some of the rule changes had a positive effect on the upcoming generation's view on baseball. That is going to be part of his legacy, whether we like it or not. Everything else about his legacy is probably going to be pretty negative. I don't think the game's gotten a whole lot better, but again, I'm a traditionalist. I don't like the removal of I still don't like the removal of the DH from the NL. I just don't. I think it takes away too much strategy of the game. Yes, the game is a little bit more exciting with a little bit more offense, but you take out some of the thought and the strategy of the game, and that was one of the great things about baseball. It wasn't just a physical sport; it was also a mental sport.
Tyler, what do you make of Bourbon and Baseball? The rule changes, bigger bases. That's one of the ones. Like the kind of, there's a big one. The guy at second base is one I think about, obviously, with the extra innings. As Josh kind of brought up a few other things as well. Sub to everybody. You come on the show to baseball, you sub to everybody here. We're all kind of. I feel like baseball. I feel like it's a niche sport. Like that's why, to me, I kind of want to expand on it this year. That's kind of me and Josh how we see with it. What do you think, Tyler? Last thoughts on that?
I think some of the good things is definitely the rule changes, bases getting bigger, the pickoff throws being limited, the stepping off, the stepping out. We don't have Nomar Garcia-Parra taking a minute between every pitch to buckle up.
Okay,
Get the
I'll agree with
batter's
that part. Like that
I
specific detail, I'll agree with.
I mean, and then they even like little things that aren't really rule changes, but just like things how things are done, like the catchers communicating through wires system with the pitcher. It's just he's upgraded the game. Some ways negative, some ways positive, but at least he actually did something or tried to do something.
Is he a Hall of Famer
in
then?
this sport. No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Nothing. He
Bud
probably
got
will
it.
be.
Big
'Cause
Bud
every
got
Hall
it.
of Fame,
Yeah,
every
he was an
commissioner
owner.
gets
I
into
know.
the Hall of Fame. And I wish I had a job where I could say, I'm going to retire in 5 years. You can't fire me or anything. I'm calling my shot 5 years from now. I'm out. And I'm
Hey,
gonna
you
be
should
on
go
the
into
road.
your boss's office tomorrow and just try it for fun. Just be like, I just want to let you know I'm retiring in 5 years. Just want to give you a little warning there.
You can't do nothing about it.
What's up, Chris out there in New York? Sports, always killing it with the Mets. Knicks talk out there as well. I know he does little Rangers out there as well. I know you guys had a Rangers guy on your what was it, 5-hole show there, Variety Sports Network. That was kind of a fun show. Listen to the hockey stuff there, Chris. Hope all is well out there in the East Coast, sir. Yes, your Knicks are looking like they might make a little run here, as we talked about last week. So, and your Mets, a lot going on with them as well. Josh Lewis out there. Commissioners are just automatically putting. Oh, it's just stupid. It does. They have awards still named after him, even though everybody's like, yeah, this guy's a flat out racist. Oh, let's just keep his award for 70 years with his name on it. Yeah, we'll remove statues and all that, but baseball's like, we'll keep his name. So I don't know what's going on with it. All right. Let's get into something we talked about. That was just kind of something I saw right before, and it's the commissioner. I wanted to get your guys' opinion on that real quick. Soler to the Giants, Tyler. Like I said, one of the most fascinating stats in all of baseball is that you guys haven't had a 30 home run hitter since 2004 when Barry Bonds accomplished that. It's unreal. It's just one of the most amazing stats you would think of just based on the players you guys have had. It's not like you've had bums. And then the fact that like you just had, that's crazy to me. So you have that happen with Soler. I'm curious your thoughts on that. Obviously, he hit the 36 bombs with Miami last year. He's hit the 49 home runs. Thank you for the fantasy championship with the Royals there when he did it that year as well. So he's a proven power hitter. He kind of looks the part too, right? Like he kind of, it's like Marte. Like the biceps will be shown. Like he's a power hitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so are you excited about getting him on a 3-year, $42 million deal? I think the last year's an opt-out, but go ahead.
I mean, I'm excited on bringing in anyone who can hit the ball over 450 feet. Giants really haven't had that in forever. He's a threat. I just want one good year out of the 3. I think that's the most realistic option. He's hit over 30 home runs twice in his career. It's not like he's been Mr. Consistent. So, like, I don't think he's like this great player who's going to put us over the top, but he is a player who, if you add other parts, you get the superstar at some point, will be a little bit of protection down the road. Now, I mean, what's he legitimately going to do to this offense with, like we've brought up continuously?
But you guys haven't been able to have a right-hand hitter that can get 3 runs like that in a while.
He can also strike out 4 times in a game.
I agree, but you guys got somebody now, like a DH with at least some power.
What he's hit over 30 home runs twice, and he's been terrible in 5 of his seasons. It's not like he's Mr. Consistent.
I don't know. Marte's a better player. I just kind of think of them like different opposites, but the same kind of like they're kind of hurt a little bit, and they have a different skill set, but they're kind of in that same like buff right-hand hitter that can like. I got to look at it like that way. I just think that for the Giants, Josh, like, and then we'll get back to Tyler on it too. Is like I just feel like, as you said, your concerns about them before we get to the pitch. I just want to stay on Soler though. To their point, like I said, like they haven't been able to hit home runs. Like I'm not even a Giant, and you see that out there. Tyler knows that. Like they do not hit home runs. So I do think Soler has that potential to give them something they have lacked here for a very long time.
Yeah, and momentum that can breed positivity and that can run through a clubhouse. We know how that is in baseball. Guys overperform all the time. And a lot of times it's based on somebody else doing something very well, you picking something up off of them, and it just kind of helps you find your groove. I mean, you never know what can happen with an addition or a subtraction from the clubhouse. These guys spend so much time together. Things change based on who you're around and how things are going year in and year out. The best team doesn't always win the World Series for a reason. Yeah. It's because of that team chemistry. It's that brotherhood. And I think that's important. So this could be very, very big for the Giants, but I don't think, unless something else dramatic happens, it's going to be enough. But it's going to put them in the right direction to build towards the future.
Come on, at least Wilmer Flores won't be your leading home run hitter, hopefully, this year.
It might be.
What do you think of this? As you talk about the Giants, Tyler, you can talk about who is in the rotation besides Webb. Ray isn't going to be there. That's also a deeper issue with you guys is the pitching. But I want your final thoughts on Soler, though.
For the contract and the way the rates are going for position players who can hit 30-plus home runs and be a middle-of-the-order hitter, it's a great deal. I mean, he took a pay cut from last year and he hit 36 home runs and had an 856 OPS, and he took a pay cut. So, the Giants, they know how to stop the bottom of the – not that he's bottom of the barrel, but get guys on good contracts and not get the guys who are going to be making $40 million a year. As far as the pitching goes, if you want me to get into that, we have Harrison, we have Tyson Beck or Tristan Beck, Keaton Weems, who's who of shit after Webb and Harrison. Jordan Hicks we brought from St. Louis and Toronto, who is a good middle end of the bullpen guy, but they're trying to make him a starter. We'll see how that works out.
That's what he wanted.
A real challenge. What was that?
That's what he wanted, and that's why St. Louis didn't want to go back after him. I mean, you got to think about it. At the time we traded him, we got good return on him because he was fixed and he was throwing really well in the 8th and 9th innings. He was shutting games down. He was fixed. But he wants to be a starter, and he felt like he never got a fair shake in St. Louis, and he wasn't going to get that in Toronto. And San Francisco is going to take the risk on it. I wish you guys the best of luck because if he does find it, you're going to love him. And if he doesn't, you can throw him back in the bullpen, and you're going to love him in the bullpen because when he is on, he is so much fun to watch. You're going to see a lot of pitches, but, man, is there a hell of a lot of movement. He's a fun player to watch when he's on. So enjoy him.
He definitely has electric stuff, but as a pessimistic Giants fan, this has Neftali Feliz written all over it from Texas, a decade earlier, where he was closing the World Series out, and then they try and bring him in as a starter.
You don't want that. You don't
want that. It's falling apart. But when has this ever worked where they bring, except Wainwright, I guess?
Can I ask you this, Tyler, real quick on Soler, just to put a bow on that part of it? Okay, so you're obviously lifetime. I mean, I've watched a lot of Giants games as you do too, but I'm curious as you. I'm sitting here saying, as somebody that's not a Giants fan, but I'm saying here in the Bay Area that listens to Giants radio, unfortunately, all the time coming into work. That's what do you got? I think it does solve your guys' power issue in that sense, and you haven't been able to have right-hand hitters. I do understand I understand the average. I get that. But you also know there's going to be 14 days where he hits 11 home runs, and then he's going to be Brandon Belt basically from the outfield. But at least Belt helped you with those home runs. You don't even have that anymore, and he has more potential if he connects. And that's what, to me, I think is the difference. Your last thoughts on Soler before we move on.
I mean, we've always hit a lot of home runs as a team, or not a lot, but middle of the road as a team. They just aren't consistent, and we didn't have the guy who would hit 15 in a month. Or maybe not 15, that's a lot, but the guys in front of him are Jung Hoo Lee from Korea, Thyro, who can get hot, and then Lamont Wade, and then you have the switch hitter from the Conforto behind him.
It's nothing you can believe. It's not sexy. That's what I always say. We always use that as a kind of a funny term, but that's what it is. It's you go out to the ballpark, unless Lee develops into the guy, maybe something you're not expecting as well, and just because you haven't seen it in a while, and then you have Soler hit 40. If Soler hits 45 bombs, you're going to the ballpark excited again. So we'll see what happens with that. Soler's in the books. He's on the Giants. I really kind of just, as we get to the NL West, I don't want to talk about the Dodgers, and I kind of don't want to talk about the Rockies. So Colorado fans, if you're out there, chime in, rip on me. Then I will talk about them. And then if I get a good ripping, I'm definitely down to talking some Rocks. But until far into the bench gets there, we're not going there with it. So we're 2010, 2012. They weren't sexy lineups either. I agree.
Yeah, but they don't have Lincecum, Kane, Bumgarner,
and they don't have that. Those guys were professional hitters. I feel like you at least had guys, and you had guys that got hot. You had more of a. I don't know. You're more a core at that point, is what I thought. And you had
Freddie Sanchez, Scudero.
Yeah, those guys didn't hurt at all. All right. Will the San Diego Padres make? So I kind of want to more focus on the teams two through four. I feel like we kind of think we're going to finish there. I think if we did a poll right now, Tyler, we would all have the Rockies last, Dodgers first. So I'm just real for about 5 minutes here. What do we think about this kind of group in the middle here in the NL West, where the Diamondbacks make the World Series last year? Corbin Carroll is Tyler, my favorite player right now. I am loving this guy. But is there a world where I feel like the Padres are also – I know Machado's not going to be there to start, but there's a world where we're underestimating now because their expectations are going down. So I kind of posed it as our headline here with the characteristics as, will the Padres beat out the Diamondbacks? But I just kind of – in a general, is that true? And Tyler, where do you think the Padres stand as an NL West kind of contender here, and maybe get in the playoffs? I feel like they're just being kind of overlooked because they've been such a joke with spending so much money and failing. What do you think?
I'm with you. I actually think the Padres are the second best team in this division if Tatis can just return back to steroid Tatis, which I think he'll get back to. And then you have Machado, you have Bogarts, you have Kim. And you have Cronin's. I think it's just a better lineup. The pitching on both sides, I feel like leaves a lot to be desired after the first two. Like Merrill Kelly. I guess Diamondbacks did sign Suarez, or what's the guy from Boston, the lefty, which will give them a third pitcher. I don't think either team is going to be that good this year. I think they're both going to be about 84 and 80, or 82 and 80.
I agree. Brenton Doyle, I don't know the stat, but there he is. I know Brenton. There he is up there.
Brenton Doyle is.
Brenton Doyle, Susie. You ask, you shall receive. Brenton Doyle up there. You give me this.
Just read it to us.
I don't know.
It's too small for me to see.
So those pods, I agree with you on that. What do you think, Josh? Because you loved the D-backs last year. We kind of touched on the Giants a little bit, but we haven't really talked about where we actually think they'll finish in this area. We have time to think about it, of course, but spring has us thinking here, and this was on my mind this week. These were the teams that kind of stood out to me a little bit, and I feel like that's kind of going to be an exciting little 2 through 4 matchup there to kind of see. Maybe one of them will push the Dodgers. Maybe we'll see, but what do you kind of make of that group right there?
So I think it's going to be LA, Arizona, and then I wouldn't be shocked if San Francisco and San Diego are tied at the end of the year at the exact same record, and Colorado's 20 games behind. But yeah. I think it's going to be the Dodgers are going to do this. And this is probably the big wide prediction. I haven't read anybody else's. Dodgers are going to be 111 wins. They're going to get burnt in the first or second round of the playoffs when they shouldn't. Arizona's going to be a wild card team, make it and advance to the NLCS again and be there. I don't know who they're going to play yet. I haven't decided that part, but.
They signed Eduardo Rodriguez, who I like from the Tigers, right? We liked him, Josh, last year. They got Josh, as Susie said here, and they got Suarez in a trade from Seattle, who, excuse me, I'm kind of hit and miss. I like him, but I've also like Tyler said, he's a kind of a little worse than Soler, even at times in that average area. But he does have a track record of being a professional hitter, which you like there with it. They're playing the Astros there. Yeah, they are playing that. I think that's going to be in the World Series. Astros, D-backs in the World Series. That's what we'll get again. Is that where we're going to get that? We'll get the other Texas team this year in it. I don't know. I just think that's going to be a good little race there between those teams. And like Josh, as we're kind of thinking now before the season starts, knowing we're going to do a ton of these bad boys. I'm just thinking this is going to be a race throughout the year where we're going to be and then Tyler, but I think for me and Josh, if I'm reading Josh's mind, we think the Giants are fourth, right? Is that where you're seeing it, Josh?
Yeah.
All right. Is it because the pitching for you two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler, the hitting sucks too. What are we?
I'm trying not to rag on you while you're on the show, man.
No, I think we need to have.
I'm trying to be nice.
The Padres were bad last year.
But if you look at
out of nowhere.
But the Padres could have just had a bad year. On paper, they are the second best team in the division. If they can just figure it out. And they got Bob Melvin's the manager there now, right?
Big Bob is the manager.
Yeah. So I mean, huh?
For the Giants.
Oh, that's right. He's the Giants.
Oh, it's
no. Hold on. My guy with San Diego. I just flipped it. He got ran out of St. Louis.
Yeah, your guy, your boy.
I'm just blanking on the name.
Yeah, you wanted him 8 years ago. You should know him. Come on, Logan. Where are you at? Get your head in the game.
Logan, yeah. Where is Logan? Anyways.
No, I know who you're talking. I just can't think. I'll look it up here in just a second. All right. So we got. I just feel like that group though with the Padres. I feel like they're going to make a little noise this year, a little bit more because of like the less pressure on it. That's kind of what I feel like. But Tyler, you say your Giants are going to be no part. They're not going to show up again this year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there with it.
Oh, see, I think the Giants are going to disrupt things. I just don't think they're going to go for it.
What do you think about Susie here? Is it the vibes for the Padres, like too many big? There is that, but I feel, I don't know, like I feel at some point, right? You got to have an ego check, and talent will take over.
Schill.
That's his Mike Schill. Yes, thank you. I just feel like, what do you think, Tyler?
I mean, it's guys trying to blend together. I don't think that's. I think it's getting guys out is going to be their issue after Musgrove and Yu Darvish just sort of falling off. I don't think the ego they've hit for the last couple of years. Soto had a down year. Tatis has been a little down from 2 years ago, but he's still a great player. It's just the guys sort of getting people out after Musgrave and Yu to me that's going to be the challenge for the Padres.
Yeah, I'll just be curious where what happens in that division with those parts of it. So, like I said, we like to focus on different things during the week. That was kind of one that kind of stood out to us. Not necessarily even a West Coast thing, just kind of looking through the divisions, where the news is. Kind of different than just the Dodgers talk there. And so I thought that was kind of good looking at some of those teams there with it. Exactly. We'll get into plenty of them with them and the Braves. We'll talk plenty of them this year. All right. All trade rumor team this spring. Joey Bart, I think, will be up there as a catcher. I don't have him on the list here, but I think he'll be probably traded at some point this spring training. I have some other guys that maybe just are candidates, probably low, maybe more even deadline guys. But I have Jake Cronenworth on the list, India, Adames for the Brewers, Carlson for the Cardinals, Dylan Cease, Jansen. Those are just some guys I think could be traded based on like where they're at contract wise, what teams need. Like the Reds, I know they signed India to the 2-year deal, but they need a starting pitcher. Like it feels like they need one more after losing. So like I feel like that's a part of it. Willie Adames, who knows with the Brewers. Cardinals, like I think you guys could use another pitcher too. Your outfield's crowded. I feel like he could be a candidate. And then Cronenworth to me would be an interesting one pickup for somebody, but I don't think he'll get traded. But that's kind of on there. And then of course Cease and Jansen. Tyler, you got a thought on any of those all trade rumor teams there?
I mean, I think Willie Adames is the guy you go get if you're a contender. The guy just flat out hit. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, man, he just hits bullets everywhere. And he's a solid defender. The Brewers don't seem like have any interest in winning this year, but they do know how to rebuild well. So I expect them to be one of the teams to be moving guys around, trying to get that rebuild going.
What do you think, Josh?
So Carlson won't get traded until Edman is all the way healed, and he is playing back to his normal. Edman had surgery 3 or 4 weeks ago. So they got to see how that goes. Surgery was on his wrist. I guess he was playing through the injury all of last season, or from like May on, something like that. So I don't think Cease will go anywhere, or not Cease. Carlson will go anywhere until then. I would love if the Cardinals could trade Carlson for Cease, but that ain't.
Do you like Carlson? Like he's a pretty good hitter, but do you think he's not going to be like a legit hitter?
We got a crowded outfield. I got enough other players. I got needs. He still has potential, and he's young, and you have.
I'll take Dylan Carlson for Joey Bart.
Let's do that. Right? Did he need a catcher?
No, give me Logan Webb.
No, hell no.
Logan Webb.
I mean, you ain't gonna win this year, anyways.
Give me Walker. Walker for Webb.
A great deal. They got a steal for Logan Webb on his.
I'll give you 10 hints for Webb.
I don't know enough about who you just said.
What do you guys think of Dylan Cease, though, eventually? Do you think he goes for – like, I was thinking him for India would be a good deal. Like, just go Reds. Like, he goes to the White Sox. They get second, and then and the Reds get another pitch. That's what I was thinking would be a good deal.
But the White Sox want heaven and earth for Cease. That's the problem.
Well, I know they'd have to give up another player. They're probably like, Hunter Green. We want Hunter Green with it. So, I don't know, Tyler. I thought that was fun, just kind of looking at some of the players. Like, I think Joey Bart's probably the highest candidate. I know he's not the greatest name, but he's probably going to get traded this spring.
He should be with Andrew Bailey ahead of him.
Well, and he's out of options.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how much Farhan loves those options.
Do you think he's going to stay on the – like, will he be a backup? I doubt it.
No, he's gone. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up flat out releasing him because they're out of options and they have nothing to do with them.
What do you think about Kenley Jansen, T?
What was that?
What do you think about Kenley Jansen?
I think he's
from the Red Sox being traded. Do you think he's done?
No, I think he could be like a seventh inning guy and be solid. I don't think his best days are definitely behind him. He's around 89 miles per hour. He's like overpowering people like he used to, but I think he can get guys out. He can be a veteran who you bring in and you have like a Bochy like coach who you gain his trust. Not that he has Bochy, but I don't mind Kenley Jansen on the middle to the back end of the bullpen.
Josh, when will the Scott Boras 4 free agents sign? This is to me the most ridiculous. Okay, what was it? The commissioner said that he wants to have like some sort of signing area, like kind of where they have to sign.
Yeah, he wants a deadline.
Yeah. So, but with these 4 guys, it's funny. Of course, it's the Boras clients. They're the 4. So you got Bellinger, Chapman, Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery. Where will they land in that spot there with it? And then is it? I guess on top of that, I guess we've never really fully got it. I've always made the comment: is it a bad look for MLB? But more before we get to that, I kind of just want to know: is it like the Phillies? Are they going to swoop in and get Snell, and then we're like, oh, they're the favorite? Like, is that like kind of the big deal that's going to happen, or Montgomery goes to the Yankees? I feel like. I don't know. I guess I feel like there's something that's going to happen here that's going to make us overreact to something too. So I'm kind of curious where this goes.
Well, we're going to go overreact because it's the longest we've ever waited for this many top-end players to get signed. So we're going to overreact regardless. At least that's my opinion. I think as soon as Snell or Montgomery goes, the other will go. I just think that's how it's going to fall. Those 2 pitchers are going to go back to back. Because I think they're going to try to base their contracts off of each other in some way, shape, or form.
What do you think, T?
I mean, Boras is definitely trying to leverage them against each other, raise all their stocks by sitting out, waiting for something to happen.
Bellinger will not suck for 3 years.
I don't see any of these 4 guys as difference makers. He's had bigger free agents hold out longer, like Bryce Harper and whatnot. These 4 guys, I'm just don't overspend. Wait them out. These guys aren't worth the $200 million you're going to want. All 4 of them. I think I'd most want Montgomery on my team, but he's not worth.
Because he'll be the cheapest.
Yeah, probably. He shouldn't be that. I think he's better than Snell.
He's probably the best value.
Snell's a 2-time Cy Young winner.
Yeah, but he came more than 5 1/3. What's his playoff success? He had none. I mean, he had the one.
You would rather have Montgomery than Snell, honestly.
I would.
Yeah, he can do more. He can go 7 innings. He pitched big playoff games.
He's a bulldog. He can go 7+. He doesn't get rattled. Nothing phases it. You don't understand. Once he's there and he's locked, you don't get in there.
Well, the Cardinals.
And he just goes.
The Cardinals didn't agree.
No, the Cardinals knew they couldn't do anything, and they were going to be.
I had to give that little dig. I had to give a little dig there, John, because I remember you talking about him when they traded for him. You were excited, so that's why I know you love him. Because as soon as I remember listening, because that's when we were just starting. And you were kind of like not even us, you and Logan, and you were like, yeah, I love this guy. So I kind of remember that you even loving him back then with it too. I think Belly will go to the Cubs. I think that's the only option for him. I feel like he's the one guy where Tyler, it's just like if you're a GM and you sign this guy to $200 million deal, I'm just gonna be like, hire me immediately. Like you don't even have to worry about anything else. I will not at least spend $200. It would be, to me, out of all those guys, he's the one to me where he's not on. To me, the 3 other guys are way better than him. That's how I feel.
And he's going to get the biggest contract because he's the youngest and he is the most physically best looking baseball player as far as running fast, jumping high, and hitting the ball the furthest. He has those attributes that the others aren't as high on. So he'll probably get paid the most, and he's the least consistent and the most likely to not get a clutch hit, in my opinion, even though he did get a big one against the Giants in Game 5 a couple years ago, but we don't need to go there.
I like Susie. He's not old enough to be a Cardinals rotation. I agree. They got to be. It's like me and Tyler now.
You got to be AARP to be a Cardinals starter.
Tyler, what's our theory with Fat Boy Fadeaway? It's 40 and over leagues now. That's where we focus, right? I'm going to be 40 in August. That's what we got. I got 6 months now. I can finally start playing. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So
where does Chapman end up?
That's a good question. That's my sports bet. Chapman to the Nationals. I love that. We hear that. I can see that.
That would make sense, though, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that seem like something the Nationals would do?
I'm going to be honest. This guy, That's My Sports, who was on with that 5-hole. As I've kind of got to know him a little bit over this period of time, last probably what do you think? That's My Sports, probably at least 6 months here. he's pretty correct about a lot of these things. So I wouldn't be wrong with him on that with it. Montgomery to the Jays.
Don't
Jays
say
have
that,
to do
man.
something, right? They're going to get screwed over again. Vibes.
I'd rather see Snell to the Jays.
Ben Gates is bored. Is that? I always think of Ben Green when people say Ben Gates. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Ben
Susie,
Green.
I love it. That's funny.
What Ben is gay?
Well, we don't have any Bens.
Susie's one of our investors. Susie, that's good stuff as always. Permanent baseball. Always be sure to check out them. Send to them, of course. Susie, the AL West, the A's, they're making a surprise this year. I can feel that's why I'm drinking out of the A's cup today. Let's go.
Alex Wood, big year.
Right. Alex Wood making a comeback this year.
Ripley.
Yeah, Montgomery to the Jays, so we'll get that. I mean, so I don't know. Like, I just feel like these Boris free agents is just kind of Tyler at this point. It's becoming a joke. I feel like as we put a bow on this segment, it's a joke.
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
How he operates. I don't know.
What do you? I mean,
He's good at it.
So, do they need a deadline thing?
No, I don't know why.
You don't need one, but if you're going to do one, it's got to be the day before pitchers and catchers report.
I don't know. That's
what do you do if they miss the deadline? All of a sudden, you can't play this year? That's crazy.
Can't play till the All-Star break?
Yeah, but what if they offer you a deal that you're not worth?
Yeah, some guys aren't even good enough to get an opening day contract, and they have to be.
I was just trying to play devil's advocate. I don't think there should be a sign period.
Disagreeing with you.
I don't have a good argument.
You got a busy day at work tomorrow, man. You need a raise. Think about that. You got to start.
You're doing three people's job.
You got to start fucking it. Oh, yeah, we got to think of that. All right, Bradish, news and notes here with it. Tyler, you love it. Burns, we get to the and then of course. We got our second best guy hurt to start the year. Henderson ends up on the injured list as well. You know what I mean? It's just kind of one of those things where you're like, just started. And then Cole, the Yanks, they're going to use 2023 as a disaster and as motivation, a disaster. You know what's a motivation? 54 losses or 54 wins in your team movie. That's a disaster. Get your head straight, Cole. You didn't have a disaster there. The Marlins, I love this. Arise, he loses arbitration. Gets 10 points. Yeah, well, he didn't bat for 400. I mean, he didn't get the job done. And then also, our guy Kluber retires, two-time Cy Young winner. Blake Snell, a two-time Cy Young winner as well. Just reminding folks out there as well. Josh, what do you got as maybe out of these or something else? What do you want to focus on?
Okay, so the Kluber retiring kind of caught me off guard, to be honest, because I thought if he was going to retire, he would have done it last year. And then he ended up playing, and I was like, okay, so he's gonna run it out. He's gonna just keep going. So that to me, the timing of it to me seemed a little off. That caught me off guard. What else is on the list? I want to make sure I don't screw anything up.
Well, just real quick, and then we'll get back to that. Just real quick, Bourbon baseball. I think the Orioles will sign Monty. That would be a good. I mean, if they get that, I would be then the Orioles. Cal Ripken, Grant Hill going to work over there. Really working the Magic Johnson era. Like that right there, Tyler. A little shout out there, double pod. Yes. Did you see Flipper Flopper Stroman praise Cashman today? Yes, I did see that. Pathetic Mr. Man there. Back on the screen here with what you were talking about. Some of the guys with this one real quick. Radish on the injured list. I feel like that for the Orioles because we talked about Burns a couple weeks ago being the big deal. Now he ends up on the DL with the UCL. Tyler, that's easily something that like all-star break all of a sudden. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he'll be back in May 1st. And then it's like, well, we'll check in on Memorial Day weekend. We'll check in on all-star break. And then like, or he's out for the year. You're like, son of a, you know what I mean? Like, you know how this goes, the dance. That's on the headline. Then a guy Arise, not batting 400, pathetic, does not win arbitration.
The thing that I take away from the most is the Henderson injury. I think strictly forcing. I think the Orioles are trying to get him to sign a long-term contract, like they just have happened with Burns, and then they did it. Who was the guy who just signed a couple of days ago?
No, Orioles.
To a long-term deal, 11 years. Oh, Bobby Witt.
Oh, Witt.
Yeah, I think this is what they're trying to do with Gunnar Henderson. And if they don't, then they'll use this injury as a reason not to let him play until past the deadline, so he gets an extra year of eligibility being on the Orioles. I think it's all semantics on the Orioles' part. And this is
so you think the Orioles
are
not manipulating the system?
Opening day. What was that?
So you think the Orioles are actually manipulating the system?
I think all baseball
service time manipulation. I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Yes, I think all baseball teams do it, and I think it's smart of them to try and do it.
Okay.
Our
I
guys,
don't disagree. I was just wanting to make sure I understood you.
our guys, Basketball Sports and Bourbon Baseball, talking about Monty. Where would he be in the line? All I know is this: if he goes to the Orioles, like for the first time in 30 years, I'm like, oh, okay, or like okay, we're Tyler. We're not like faking anything here. We're actually really going in after a trade after we're signing somebody like that's what that would mean to me if they did something like that. And the fact that he would be your 3 or 4 really makes the Orioles kind of a really good rotation. Probably the best absolute in baseball if they end up with him on their team right there. I wanted to talk about Kluber real quick because he was a 2-time Cy Young winner.
Before,
Yeah,
is there any
go ahead.
way that I saw the Orioles look or asked about Bauer's interest in joining the Orioles, and they obviously have to talk to him and do their due diligence, but they were seeking like whether he had any interest in signing with them for them to even go pursue it. Is there any way he comes back, and what would the back like? But like, is there a good fit? Is there no fit for him in Major League Baseball at this point?
Go ahead, Josh.
I think whoever gives this guy an opportunity, as long as he doesn't go out there and do something stupid, is going to look like a freaking genius. That's what I think. That's where I'm really at with it. I mean, think about the deal. League minimum, he's going to play for incentives. He says, I'll sign the contract where if I do anything you don't like, you can cut me free and clear. It's a win-win situation. Because any fan base, if he comes out and pitches lights out in spring training and then goes and wins his first 3 games he pitches, fan base is going to start listening and giving the guy a chance. If he can do that through the end of May, fan base is behind him. If he can do that for an entire season and, say, win 14 games, lose 6, and have an ERA under 3 or even under 3.3, I bet he rejuvenates his career and he gets his opportunity back. He'll never be a top-tier paid player. Ever.
No.
If he wants to play, he plays for the love of the game and on very, very cheap and very, very low risk for other teams to acquire him for him to continue to play. But whoever gives him the opportunity gets the opportunity to look like a genius or a fool.
And we talked about that a little bit last week, I believe, as well. And we kind of touched on that same thing with it, too. So I feel like he's part of that with him. We'll see. I think that would be Tyler. I think you're right. I think that's part of it as well. I think that would be interesting if they did get something. I'm giving Monty a 4-year deal with a 5th option. He has no choice but to sign with this dead market. I mean, unless he wants to sit out a year. He's not making. Nobody's paying Montgomery $200 million. It's just not happening. You know what I mean? Like, he's a pitcher. It's just not going to happen there. So I felt like with those things, the Rise thing, I want to go on Kluber real quick, Tyler. And the reason I wanted to talk about Kluber is because of Lincecum. And it's funny to me when you were like, "Yeah, I can make it." I was like, "Oh, okay, this is one of the best parts." Are doing my guy CP's a little behind. Padres are doing nothing. And Mike Schmidt's called you out on CP. Love you there with it. All right. So like we said, I don't know. I just feel like Kluber, he's a 2-time Cy Young winner. He's a 3-time All-Star, and he's an ERA title. If you look at Lincecum, he was a 2-time Cy Young winner, 4-time All-Star. He was a back-to-back Cy Young winner as well. Kluber went, I believe, what did he go? 4 years between his. So he won his in 2015, then won another one in 2017. So I just feel like, I'm not saying they're the same pitchers, and I kind of look at Lincecum more dominant, but you kind of look at that. Kluber won the ERA title as well. Lincecum did have 3 straight years as winning the strikeout king in the National League with strikeouts 260, 240, 230. I don't know, Tyler. Is there a world where Kluber is maybe on Lincecum and we just don't think of it like that? I mean, he got to the World Series, right, in 2016 with the Indians.
I mean, Lincecum won 2 World Series. One as a dominant starter, one as a not as important of a role. But when Lincecum was at his all-time best, he was starting All-Star games twice. He threw 3 no-hitters. And then he was much-watched TV or even much-watched highlights, like on ESPN when the Giants came on and Lincecum was pitching. You wanted to see where that ball was moving, how it was diving, where it was going. He was a show.
Kluber struck out just as many guys, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't 5'11", 160 pounds, soaking wet. There was more. I'm not saying Lincecum.
He had a great windup.
He was exciting. He was dynamite on a baseball field. He was a draw. The Giants ticket sales when he pitched would go up. And that doesn't happen for pitchers normally when it comes to ticket sales. It's only a batter that you have to get a draw.
Let Timmy.
I don't know if Kluber produced that same type of way.
I just think it's interesting looking at their careers. They were both short. Well, Kluber a little bit longer.
I mean, you could put Snell in the same conversation.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Kluber's career, but Lincecum's was so dynamite at the beginning. But if you look at Kluber's the same run, he literally goes from 2014 to 2018. And if you look at Lincecum, it was kind of the same run. It was like 5 years of dominance. So I'm just saying, like, we kind of like, I think it's style, Tyler, obviously fan base, who you like and that stuff. But you kind of look at the numbers at, like, these guys to me are very comparable. So it was interesting when he retired, Josh. I felt like, seventh inning stretch, we got to shout out a 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh, not impressed. Not impressed. You guys are totally underrated how good he was. And that time he was dominant when he was out there.
Kluber was good. He was like Bieber.
He was good. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. That was not enough. Woo!
That just feels fake now. It just feels fake.
I don't know what you want, man. I wasn't a big Kluber fan.
I want you to act
he was like a good player. I respect
you to act like you're on West Coast time zone. That's what I want you to act.
I can't do that. I came out there once and y'all sent me back to the Midwest and said, don't ever come back. I was too nice for y'all.
I get you. Hey, Josh, can I get you this, though, on this? Ryan Presley, surprised he's moved to the setup role for the Astros. Remember we talked about Hader signing there as well with the Astros. He was surprised. I mean, buddy, come on. Don't be surprised on that one. Moves to the role there. $95 million. Do not be surprised.
Yeah.
Owners push for the free agent signing. We talked about that. Manfred confident the A's will move to Vegas. You know what I think about that? All right, Ryan Presley. To me, that was one of as I kind of wanted. We kind of go on early news and notes here with it. Tyler, what do you kind of make of Ryan Presley saying that? I don't think he really meant like everything of it, but it is kind of an odd comment to say.
I'm surprised. I mean, he's been pretty good in the closing role. It just seems like when there's that young guy who's filthy, they are going to get the job eventually. It happened in Milwaukee with Devin Williams and Hader. They moved Hader along. And Presley wasn't even as good as Hader. So, I'm not surprised by it. I think it'll be fine. The comment was a little weird.
Hader. Hey, you know what? You're going to be the best eighth inning guy for $95 million. Like, I really think you're going to be done. Yeah, come on. What are we doing here, Josh Edwards?
I mean, what Presley has to understand is he's only going to be in the setup role when there's an opportunity for Hader to close.
Well, that's true.
I mean, there's not an opportunity for Hader to close. He may get the close anyways.
Yeah.
Man,
if he gets hurt, he'll be right there. Yeah, no, I get you.
Is Hader better than Presley?
I don't think Hader's that good.
He's pretty good.
He has bad.
He's not $95 million good.
I agree.
He's like $60 million at best good.
Well,
because
Mr.
he's closer.
Still a lot for a closer, in my opinion.
I'm thinking more like $30 million over 5 years.
Mr. Diaz, thank you for that. You could think that you get $102 million from what's the owner of the Mets. You get that. It's a big thank you there.
And his first year, he didn't even pitch under that contract.
That's a good point there. Manfred confident on A's move to Vegas. Like I said, on that one, and like I said, we'll see what happens. They're working out some. Like I saw that this is a Fat Boy fadeaway thing here, but they're trying to maybe extend to Oakland a lease there. Like everybody's like, okay, the mayor, you cannot blow this city of Oakland. You've blown everything in the world. Just be like, okay, if you move, we want to keep our team and our name. At the very least, you need to do that. You can that's something I would ask for if they want to get out of town. So, or at least play that leverage card, right? Like, don't just be like, yes, we'll let you play. Figure it out. Figure out what we want to do with that going forward. Diamond notes, kind of news and notes, but I felt like there wasn't a segment for some of this stuff, so I kind of want to go to it. Shout out Peter Gammons. We also like you out here on the baseball on that show. Liam Hendricks has multiple offers here. I haven't heard teams. He won't be available till probably around August or September. So there's a rule I've been reading where he either Tyler signs now and maybe this next week or two, or he holds out till he's kind of more healthier, can pitch for some teams and be with a contender. Probably not get as better as an offer, but there's that part going on with Hendricks. The new MLB jerseys. If anybody watched that thing on Twitter. The Pablo Lopez part where the lady's interviewing him and he goes, He goes, I changed my jersey 4 times a game. I was like, good God, man. I was like, when Jimmy Jameson out there, shout out there. Wainwright, and then Adam Wainwright, he joins MLB Network. And then we got our Jenny Kavanaugh. She's the first woman to be the primary play-by-play for, of course, my Oakland A's out there after they get rid of the guy last
Good
year.
headlines.
His comments. Any of those stand out to you, Tyler? Diamond notes there with it?
I mean, I didn't even know about the Jenny Kavanaugh thing with A's. That's pretty, kind of cool. They did something.
Yeah, she was with the Rockies last year.
For good headlines. The Wainwright thing I don't care about. Sorry, Josh. Liam Hendricks having multiple offers sounds like just the agent getting his name out there, letting people know he still wants to pitch this year. And he's not going to sign till August or September and wait till he's with a contender.
He has multiple offers right now.
I don't believe that. I think that's the agent making something up to keep his name in the news. Like, it's hard.
He's got one offer right now that he doesn't like.
Go back to the A's for $1 million. That's what it is right now. Look at MLB jerseys. Logan's been texting us all week about this, Josh.
Dude, they're horrible.
Nike.
They look like absolute trash. Yeah, Nike's trash. Fanatics is trash. They're gonna ruin the hockey jerseys next. It's, you know what? They're making all this progress and all this crap, and then all the stuff for all the hardworking Americans that actually care about sports, like those of us who work our butts off to come up with $150 to buy jerseys, do not want to buy absolute crap. Give us the stitched-on jerseys that look legit.
Did you hear what AJ Przinsky said too? I heard on that Foul Territory show they do. Is where he's like, I guess he said the best part about the jerseys was they would like customize stuff, like if you want a longer sleeve or more room in the calf or whatever, like they would do that. But I guess these uniforms they won't be allowed to do that with. That's what I've heard, anyways. So we'll see if that affects morale. Does it affect morale going forward at the beginning? Tyler, remember the basketball that they changed to the basketball for a while? Well, that Pablo Lopez quote. Just look it up from the Twitter.
I haven't seen that.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I haven't seen
I sweat 4 times. I was like, good, you change your jersey like if you pitch 6 innings, you change your jersey 4 times. So I was like, that's incredible. It's like one of the most fascinating things I heard in a long time. The A's do get the new announcer, Tyler. It'll be interesting how that goes out on the play-by-play here in the Bay Area in its last season. I will say this, not the easiest job going into your to start your first year, as you have a team basically with a fan base that hates the owner for your team. So be interesting how she does with that. Tyler, you got something there?
Was that play-by-play on the radio or on TV?
TV. She'll be the first play-by-play on the TV.
Glenn?
Yep. Well, whoever they had last year. I didn't even know who. I didn't even listen.
Glenn for part of the year, right?
Well, Glenn for part, of course, but then he obviously Kansas City got him. So he went there with it. All right, Josh, any last thoughts on that before I go to
I got a question. How was Apple's how was the response to Apple's having the women broadcasters on their TV crews?
I didn't mind them at all.
I mean, I saw a lot of negative online on like Twitter and Facebook about it, but I never really saw or heard anything published outside of Facebook. And I keep the social medias are just places for echo chambers to talk and vent and gossip to each other. So I don't really buy into it. But I don't know her name, so I don't know much about her. But I wish her the best of luck because I know they've given a lot of. Huh?
I think she did part-time play-by-play for the Rockies last year. I think that's where I remember hearing her name from because I would hear it once in a while. But Susie, real quick here, I think she and Dallas Braden, she's referring to, are going to be fire. Dallas Braden obviously is very entertaining on the A's broadcast. But go ahead, Josh.
Well, no, we got baseball. They've been bringing the girls, the women in on the NHL side the last couple of years. And the one girl, I think her last name is Knight. She does a really, really good job in the play-by-play for hockey. So I hope this young lady gets a good go out there in Oakland with the A's.
And I know it's different. Like, I'll be honest, as a guy that's listening to sports, like I'm just like at times I'm like being I'm just saying because I have a daughter. I'm not like that. Like with it, I'm just like it's just different because you're not accustomed to it. I think that's part of it, obviously, right? You're listening.
It's a different sound.
And so it is definitely a different sound there. The ESPN Big Ten one took me a while as a kid to get used to out there. So like
she wasn't very good.
Yeah, she was struggling. She's still famous. So like you got that part of it. So yeah, and so I feel that with it. But I do think whatever. I just thought it was news. I'm not really talking about anything like rights-wise anyways here. I just think Kurt Braden will be fine. I just thought that was a little news and notes, diamond notes I wanted to pass on there with it. Susie here, I think it's because of all women on the broadcast. It was, yes, that I did. Yes, you're right. She was out on ESPN too. And they did. Josh, that's a little fun note. We're going to try to be once a month, ESPN Saturday Night Baseball. We're going to try to go live, kind of like we did talking to Gridiron a little bit there with it. So that's going to be part of our goal here, getting into that. All right. News and notes. We finished diamond notes. Josh, like I said, your favorite time of the year. It's your time to shine. We get to the 51-minute mark of the show here. MLB trivia, folks. That time of the year. Tyler, if you know it right away, I feel like sometimes, since we've known each other, 35 years here, you sometimes know my brain more than anybody. So don't answer the question right away. Give Josh a few minutes. Let me get through all three hints with it. And then if you know it, you can just give me the yes, I know it. All right. MLB trivia. Who am I? Logan Stone. Get your act together. Let's see if you can get it this week with it. I played 19 years in the league. From 1990 to 2008. Out of my 19 years in Major League Baseball, I only spent 1 year in the American League, and that was 1998. My manager that year was Buddy Bell and Larry Parrish. Some old names. Got to shout it out there, David Bell there. So we'll give our audience. There's my guys, That My Sports. He got JT Snowright last year. Tyler,
yeah, I mean,
I was impressed. He got JT Snowright. Tyler didn't even get JT Snowright.
I got JT Snow.
What was the hint
the switch hitter?
What was the hint that gave it away for you?
When he was a switch hitter and he changed to left side only.
See, Josh didn't know that. Josh didn't know about the switch hitter thing. Yeah.
The Yankee thing definitely threw me off.
Me and Tyler know each other 35 years. Tyler, what was it? I'm 39. You're 36. Him and my brother were like best friends in first grade. So they would hang out, and we've known each other since then. But the thing is I played sports with his younger brother, Kyle. And then me and his older brother, Ryan, also played sports together. We coached a little league team when we were both 21, and he was 22 at the time. So our families.
Our sisters were roommates in college.
Yes, we are. Yes, exactly. They both graduated from Sac State at the same time. To say we are close is an understatement.
You guys are practically brothers.
Yes, we are basically. That's why I said he basically can read my mind when he gets.
Good for you guys.
All right. Thank you. Nobody cares. All right, here we go to it. Hit number 2. I am a 5-time All-Star, 1-time Silver Slugger winner, and I won people a home run derby. Tyler, do you know it? Do you feel like you know it?
No, I have no idea.
I won a home run derby.
I have a guess right now.
Tyler, I'll give you. I think the next one will give it away. So, Tyler, do you have a guess?
I was going to say Frank Thomas, but he played before that and he didn't play in the NL. I don't know.
Hit number 1. Hit number 3. This should give it away. In 2000.
Jim Thome?
Not Jim. 2001 finished 3rd.
I know. No.
Despite hitting 325, 57 bombs, 142, and 100. I was drafted by the Houston Astros in the 4th round of the 1988 MLB draft. Look at those numbers, and you get 3rd of the MVP, Tyler. That's insane.
It's probably steroids.
You talk about steroid era at its best. That is absolutely – you are correct, my sir, here. This guy is absolute money with these bad boys. Luis Gonzalez, fun fact, was traded to the Diamondbacks for Kareem Garcia, if anybody remembers him from the Yankees. Days. Good old Kareem out there. Tyler – I got it on the screen here for just a reason. So, boys, hang with me on this one. We're going to share it. This is the reason I was thinking of this is not a good thing for Luis, but Luis, you're going to make our day this week with a good highlight before I get to MLB flashback.
High fly ball, well tagged this time, and Junior going back to the track. The wall makes
you would have had one more home run, Luis.
That's a hell of a catch. Didn't look like Luis had the big open stands back in the day.
We'll see the highlight of that one. We're going to see that one more time. Tyler, hilarious. That's his 1 year in Detroit. I love that stadium, too. I love the stadium. That's part of it. I love the stadium.
We need big Prince Fielder or Cecil Fielder out there.
Sat with him, too, once. Cool dude. We're going to see this highlight again. One of the best. He was at the end. I mean, the one thing about this catch, too, that's a long run. I just love how far he catches it in the thing. Like that's way up there on that catch up there. So I felt like that was worth a little share there up on the screen with that, with him getting that, Tyler. I don't know. To me, that's one of the best ones I've seen from Griff. Yeah, he's had a lot of them, but that was the one that kind of encouraged me to put Luis as the answer there. His 1 year in Detroit. Who would have known that 1 year there, Tyler? Luis, what do you think of when you think of Luis Gonzalez?
The 2001 World Series where he bloops it over Jeter's head for the win, and he's yanking his helmet off, running down first base. Yeah.
Same thing for you.
For
you there. Yeah, for sure.
If you would have had anything in there about the Diamondbacks, at least I would have had a chance.
He likes to make it tough.
That's true.
And he makes it too tough on me.
And
I'm not that good.
I gotta say this real quick, Luis Gonzalez. That's my sports. You've been on fire. You now are the person I'm trying to. Josh Edwards is just now a facade. You're the guy I'm trying to trick down. That.
Oh my God, I'm tired.
This guy gets it wrong. Oh, Josh knows. Every text I send him, and he goes, "You're gonna get me this week too." That's what Gonzo was my guess too. I forgot about Luis Gonzalez being a Marlin to end his career. I do forget about that one. I love this, Susie. Yes, this is Josh, as you know, before Susie's time. But Susie, we're trying to educate you at 7th inning stretch. That's the point here. That's the reason we're a history channel too, right? Right? Sort of. I don't know.
Well, Susie, that time gap for me was where I cared about nothing but football because I ate, breathed, and slept football. So there's a big chunk of baseball where if it wasn't Cardinal baseball or Cardinal Cup rivalry or something like that, I don't know anything about it.
And that's fair. And
I'm not gonna lie.
That is complete fair. Tyler and I we're doing that new segment kind of now too on Fat Boy Fade where we're doing Bay Area classics. Where we're trying to show like something like that as well. I'm 30 and I know about Luis. Laugh out loud. Hey, well, yeah, you're New York. You know, you got to know about New York.
I know about Luis.
I
know who he is.
Luis.
So you're not at least like he batted right-handed. Like I love it. Like I'm trying to teach. So I do PE, right? And like so I'm trying to teach like we're doing baseball, like and these kids put on a glove, and it's so funny with the 1st through 3rd graders, Tyler, or maybe it even goes to 6 sometimes. And I was just whatever. But I go and they put on the baseball glove on their right hand, and I go, okay, hold on a second. What hand did you tell me you throw with? My right. Yeah. I go, well, that's going to be a problem. I'm going to throw with that. So, like, I'm literally going through how to put your thumb on it, like put your finger. It's kind of great actually doing it with it. I only started watching. I was thinking that it was like, I thought it was 2019. So 2018, Susie, it's kind of one of my favorite parts that you kind of have enjoyed baseball. It's kind of one of the oddest things I've always enjoyed about kind of like you're part of watching your show is that you are 2018. So it cracks me up. Your honest opinion from that side of it.
Certainly got the good Astros years because there was some slim picking years before too.
There was. I am trying to.
Yeah, it is.
Schwab.
That was a good show.
I need to grow a beard and whatever. No comment on the other part. All right.
How many potato chips is this TV weekend? Remember that? You get 4 potato chips.
I remember that. Weekend. All right, I'm gonna try to get this guy. That's my sports. You're on my list. You and Josh are good. Josh, that'd be funny if the 1 week that's my sports doesn't get it. Josh is like, yep, hit number 1. I got you right there with it. Josh, I have another one, Josh. I think maybe next week again. He's high on my list. We'll see if I use him next week. My daughter can't figure it out which hand to put the glove on because she's ambidextrous. Yeah, well, that's a whole
matter, whatever hand
it doesn't matter.
That's a good thing then if that's the case. All right, here's my MLB flashback. This goes way back, 1988, I believe. But the reason I like this one is it's kind of one I told you it might be a comedy one. Tyler, I know you've seen it probably, but it's just one that like it's happened so rare, Josh. And like I love the reaction of the team that the Angels actually do. Like their thing just to me cracks me up the best part about all of it. So like that's to me my best part. Susie, yeah, my husband always jokes and asks, "What am I going to do when the Astros start sucking again?" Yeah, when they get to my A's level, you got to do what I do. You just gotta stay inspired. Everybody, the A's are leaving Oakland. I'm still trying to do a baseball podcast, Susie. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, we're going to add it to the stage here. This is one I've enjoyed. It's about a minute and a half. I'll stop it a little before, but I just kind of enjoy it. So stay with it.
A pair of singles. He gets fisted and fights it off toward the Angel dugout.
His name is Adam Holst, and what he's famous for is fouling the ball off consecutively in the same spot.
Again, slapped that way. Same spot. Uh-oh. Keep in your holster now, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Dave, don't do anything wrong after the game.
You never know, it might be a little target shooting down there this time. Got to hit that thing off before it gets in the corner.
Gray with the 0-2 pitch. Same shot almost.
This is my man.
I thought he was going to pull out his gun. You want to hit a baseball beat?
Oh, shoot.
Get them all bunched up.
That's right. Got him in a
That's why
cubby.
she loves all the baseballs.
Still 0-2.
How is he even doing that?
Oh,
He threw it harder. He just got it in his hand.
Yeah.
Too much.
It's one of my.
empty Angel dugout. There's one between the white lines. Luis Arcina throws out David Holtz.
I had to show
Wow.
that. It's literally one of my favorite. I didn't like Tyler. It's one of those that I've just loved for years, and I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's just one that we're like, it cracks me up because it's baseball. That's why you go to the park. You don't see something every day, and I've kind of held that one out for about a year. So I've held that one a long time. It's literally one of my favorite videos. Just the reaction of it's so pure, Tyler. That's why I love it.
Very team camaraderie.
It's the fact that he's laughing at the same time.
I
and,
mean,
the guys
realize
getting
how
love, and
crazy it
then
is.
the security guards there, they move over to the other side.
Maybe it's two more.
I don't know. I just think that's good stuff. Josh, have you seen that one before?
No, I've never seen that one.
That's a funny one to me. Adam Holtz there. Shout out to that with that. So just some, I don't know. Like I said, I'll do some MLB flashbacks. Those come on. And like I said, usually my trivia, I always want to get a video up there too. So the things will usually go hand in hand. But I always feel like it's good on this show to be different. We're going to go back to the past once in a while, show some baseball stuff. There's some good stuff out there. We've missed. Tyler talked about the pickoffs with Manfred. There was a highlight this week. You don't have the patience to show it. 17 pickoff attempts, and then Vince Coleman still stole second base. You talk about insane. 17 pickoff attempts. Tyler.
And one at bat.
And one at bat. Unreal. Not even a different guy. Unreal. So
I mean,
that's why
there's a certain level of respect for being able to steal a base after 17 pickoff moves. But it's not something I want to watch as much as that might offend you, Josh. I don't need to see 17 pickoff moves.
Hey, if I get to see that once a season,
I mean, it's
I'm
pretty
fine
cool.
with that.
It's cool for sure. Like the fact that he could get a read after 17 pickoff moves is insane.
and the dude had some. You gotta look this thing up, Tyler. The guy had all kinds of. He's a lefty, so he's got just.
They had it on Twitter a little bit this week. So if you probably look it up, Vince Coleman stealing, they probably have it up there. But it's just like Pete Rose, first baseman, red, part-time manager at the same time. So MLB flashback this week. We'll continue to do that on the show. I think that's kind of been a fun little part.
Was Pete Rose whispering in Vince Coleman's ear every time? Oh, he's gonna pick you off. You got to get back. I got money on this game.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, back. Josh, you said you might do it next week. I'll throw it out to you. If you didn't, that's fine. We'll move on. Was I wrong in any part of the show tonight? Was I wrong in any part of the show?
No, I was not prepared enough to even try to.
All right.
Keep
Josh said
rights
he
and
will try to
wrongs.
call me out on some errors now, Tyler. So when I make some, exactly. So he'll call me out once in a while during the year. Like
Check notes.
So check notes here.
Or check
You
the
can do
balance
that
is what we
live,
call
well,
it.
dude. That's impressive.
Well, we can do it then.
I'm gonna try.
If I'm getting
Good
if I'm
luck.
getting highlights on here live, we can do it at the same time. We can do that. Let's say that. So, seventh inning stretch in the books here as pitchers and catchers have reported this week, ladies and gentlemen. Logan, get some rest. Watch the replay. We'll see you out there. Next one. Appreciate anybody that's tuned in tonight. We got our Josh Lewis tuning in. Susie, Bourbon and Baseball, continue to do great stuff out there. Susie, you guys just keep pushing your content. I love and the co-host, the Cardinals fan, Josh. I know you would like that as well. So you guys would get that. Also, my guy, That's My Sports, always getting my answers right. Damn it, I got to work on that. CP New York Sports. Appreciate you tuning in as well. And then we had a new one, that the Back Up the Binge podcast. Orioles fan, appreciate you tuning in as well this week as well. So good stuff baseball wise as well, Susie. We appreciate you. Thank you tuning in, giving your comments. I just love the fact in a way that you are new to the game. I just love the conversation we have. Tyler, no, it's been a long week for both you guys. Good to talk some baseball again with it. Tyler, good to have you back on the show, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's always a good time.
Always good to see you, Tyler.
Thanks,
Josh
Josh.
Edwards.
Talking baseball with you.
Tyler, also real quick with it, will be obviously you did the TMB last week. You'll be Fat Boy here now with it. Hopefully we'll get you on every once in a while, maybe at least once a month, maybe here for 17 stretches. We kind of move into the season. Hopefully maybe even a little more at times, but we just get you on once in a while there to get your thoughts on with it. Appreciate everybody with it. Josh Edwards, another good show here this week. I know we've had busy weeks this week, but I'm glad we could maybe distract each other here with a 1 hour.
Hey, you're the man.
Hey,
you're the man.
And next week, I'm going to try to give you a 2012 guy. I'll try to give you some guy that in 2012 Cardinals first baseman. No, I'm just kidding. Albert, but he hit 7 home runs. He's more number 5.
He wasn't there in 2012.
His last name started with a P. I'll do that. We'll see if I can.
Checks and balances. 2012.
A little fecal batter for last name.
I want to get into your Cardinals a little bit more next week, actually, as well. Setting grade coming on with them, so we might get a little talk there with it as well. AL East stuff kind of on my mind. NL East kind of also on my mind.
Can we do the Essentials next week? Can we do the Essentials next week?
We did do the Central the week before, but I kind of want to touch on some of the Central, so I think there's a good spot we do that. I think we talked on Reds on Pirates a little bit. We should do a little bit more of the other stuff. The Cardinals.
We need to talk about the Royals.
Well, we did talk the Royals.
Yeah, but I've done a little bit more research now, and I've got some new info.
You're we did the research before.
You're a week late for the show. I
can't help it, man. I found some stuff out later.
All right, we'll put on the news and date. We'll get out there. Of course, we'll talk about it. Give me all the David Freese content out there. Yes, David Freese. We did do that. We did do that. Me and Tyler me and Brian at least for that. So. Guys, we're getting on the hour, a little bit over an hour mark here, 17 stretch. That's usually when we wrap it up here with it. So, for Tyler McGurk, for Josh Edwards, I'm your host, Darren Breyer. We'll see you all next week. Pitchers are back, baby. See you.